Hey everyone. I want to go over the assignment that you're going to be working on today. I'm going to go over the activity that we're going to be doing, and then I'm going to explain the concepts for today. You'll see at the very top corner right here that we are going to be talking about the marketing mix. And I also want you to notice your objective is that you are going to be identifying, and sorry, I don't have my glasses on. You're going to be identifying and providing examples of the four elements of the marketing mix. And we know those as the 4 P's. So you'll hear that those terms used interchangeably, either the 4 P's or the marketing mix. But the 4 P's, you'll see them there listed in bold where the bullets are. You have product, price, placement, and promotion. So what you're going to be doing today is you're going to go to the internet and you're going to find 4 advertisements. One advertisement is going to be advertising specifically a feature of any product that you find. But the advertisement must clearly be pointing out a specific feature of a product. And then the second advertisement that I want you to find is going to be clearly advertising the price of a product. The third advertisement that I want you to find clearly needs to be telling me as the consumer where I can purchase this product, where it is being sold at. And then the fourth advertisement that you find should be clearly advertising only on the basis of using some form of humor or emotion. They're using some promotional strategy to get you to buy a product. They're not pointing out the price. They're not pointing out a feature. They're just using some sort of hook to get you to buy the product. Under each one of your advertisements, maybe paste these in Microsoft Word or in a PowerPoint so that all 4 are in one file. But on each page or underneath each picture that you post of the actual advertisement, I want you to explain how it's an example of it. So for example, if my first one for a feature of the product, let's say it was for a specific cell phone, and maybe it was either talking about how large the screen size is, or that it has a fast processor inside the phone. Whatever it may be, the feature that it is advertising, I would just simply underneath the advertisement say, this is an example of an advertisement featuring the product, because it is clearly showing the reader that this phone has a screen size of blank. Okay, so that is what you're going to do for each one. The price would be pretty easy. You know, this is an advertisement that is advertising the new iPhone 6 available at AT&T for, $99 with a 2-year agreement. Whatever it could be, clearly and specifically state how your advertisement is an example. Please be careful that when you're doing this assignment, you're actually finding advertisements, not just pictures. A picture in a grocery store of orange juice with a price underneath it is not an advertisement. An advertisement is something that you would find either in a magazine, on a billboard, something like that. Not just a picture that you find on the internet. Make sure it's an actual advertisement. Okay? So now I want to take a few minutes just to talk about each one of these in a little, just very briefly, because over the next few months, we're going to actually talk and study about each of these in depth. But first off, the product. You need to understand that the product must be developed. if you look at products over the lifetime of it, it's going to change. There's always new models that come out, improvements that are made to a product. If that doesn't happen, then the product may find itself failing or losing potential sales. So, I mean, we could talk about these forever, but you have products that new flavors come out. They come out with new flavors. They may totally change the product. I like to use an example of an alarm clock. Think about how much an alarm clock has changed over the years. And in the future, we're going to talk about that in depth. But products change and develop over time. And that's because of marketing. You actually have people, that's their job, is to sit and develop products, test new ideas. And so I want you to look at examples of advertisements that are focusing specifically on a product feature. Okay, the second one, price. Price is so important when you're deciding if a product is going to be successful or not. If you make the price too high, what's going to happen? Nobody's going to buy the product. But set the price too low, it could get the impression that it's a cheap product, and I definitely don't want that either. So when I'm setting the price, it's very important that my price is set at where customers are going to buy it, where the most customers are going to buy it. But we're going to talk about price. We're going to spend plenty of time talking about supply and demand, all sorts of things to determine how marketers determine the price. And then number 3 is where a product is sold. And we don't really think about this probably as much, but placement is so important. Have you ever thought about why candy is placed at the checkout down low? Okay, it's not for the mom and dad to see. It's for the children to see who are with the mom and dad, who throw fits and beg and plead for their parents to buy them that candy. Again, it's all about the placement. And we're going to talk about this in detail too when we talk about the utilities of a product. So again, all of these I'm just briefly going over because we will discuss them in detail over the next few weeks. And the last one is promotional. And this is kind of, honestly, when I talk to most kids about, well, what do you expect you're going to learn in marketing? And they say, oh, advertising. We think with marketing, oh, that's what marketing is about. Well, marketing is so much more than just promotional, but it's probably my favorite to actually teach because you get to be creative and, think about what moves customers to buy things. And so promotional strategies are so important, and there's some promotional strategies that will forever be known. If I say the Sonic guys, people know exactly what I'm talking about, or the Geico or the Gecko for Geico. You know what I'm talking about because there are marketers who have been so successful with a promotional strategy that we know them. They're kind of a family topic. And so those are the 4: product, price, place, and promotion. You today are finding 4 advertisements, 4 totally separate advertisements, one for each of these. Place them in either a Word document or in PowerPoint. Do not forget that last bullet down there to make sure that you explain how your advertisement that you find is an example of either product, price, place, or promotion. All right, you guys, I hope you have a great day. If you have any questions, leave them as a comment on Edmodo underneath the assignment. I'll try to check Edmodo to respond to you if you have any questions. Thanks.